Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. This video is going to be another installment in my video series, Test Your Comic Book Grading Skills. Kind of. Actually, this is going to be a test my comic book grading skills, because here in front of me, I have a box that contains a 25-book 9/8 pre-screened submission that I sent to CGC that just got back today. I am very excited to open this box because while I've opened other people's submissions over the past several months, it has been a long time since I have had the opportunity to unbox some of my own books. So I'm very, very excited about that. Let me give you just a little bit of a history on this box. Now, this submission took 3 months to turn around at CGC. Now, right now, the modern turnaround time is estimated at, I think it's 102 days. Then you're supposed to add 30 days onto that for a pre-screen submission like that. So about 132 days, which is just a little bit over, and these are working days, by the way. This is just a little bit over 26 weeks, which is just about half a year or about 6 months. This came back in 3 months. Now, this is a little bit triggering to me because I have books at CGC right now that today are on their 1-year anniversary from the time they were delivered at CGC, and they still haven't even begun the process there. And that's a bit frustrating. Part of the reason that is because the books that I'm talking about are scheduled to be pressed at CCS, and the turnaround at CCS is extremely long. The books in this 9/8 pre-screen did not get pressed. I assessed them and I submitted them knowing they weren't going to get pressed and thinking that they would still get a 9.8. But even that being said, the turnaround time on these books was too fast. It should be 6 months. It was 3 months. Now, why did that happen? Well, I have a bit of a hypothesis about that. You see, I sent in this 25-book pre-screen submission along with submissions to signature series events. Now, because I did that, whenever you send something in for a signature series event, you write the initials, that kind of code for that signature series, and they open those submissions first to make sure that they are processed in time for the signing event. So when you send in submissions with those type of submissions, those get opened up first as well. And then I think that they basically just kind of get pushed through a little bit quicker as well. So that's a little bit of a tip for y'all. It's not necessarily a guarantee, but if you're going to submit or a normal submission, or if you're going to submit a signature series submission, it's smart to probably put that regular submission in with the signature series submission because it's likely to get opened up more quickly and pushed to the front of the line. At least it appears that that's what's happened in this case, and I've heard about that happening before. All right, enough of the backstory of these books. What we are going to do is we are going to open up this box. We are going to take a look and enjoy the 9/8 that I received. Then we are going to look and see if any of the books got rejected. If any of them were rejected and sent back to me raw from CGC, then what we are going to do is we are going to assess those raw books. See if we can't figure out why CGC didn't give them a 9.8. Okay, I can't wait anymore. I have to open this box. Let us go for it. Now, as I mentioned before, none of these received a press. It's generally my rule of thumb that if it's worth paying to get graded, it's worth paying to press. But I've kind of adjusted that a little bit. I am now of a mind that if you're doing a 9/8 pre-screen and you've really assessed those books and you really think they look good and don't need a press, maybe you don't need to press everything. So like I say, the exception for me to pressing everything is when you are doing a 9/8 pre-screen. There are some 9/8 pre-screens that you might want to press, but it's not necessarily a be-all, end-all. Okay, I'm going to pop off the top, and we're going to see if there are any raw books in here. Okay, so I can tell already just by looking. First off, just so you know, as always, this is packed the way... all of these 25 book submission boxes are packed with this on top. Now I look here right away and I see that there is some bubble wrap and I see that there is a Gemini mailer. That means there are some raw books in here, which means I didn't score a 25 out of 25. But the way I see it, an 80% success rate is a win. So as long as there are 20 slabs or more, or 5 raw books or less, I would consider that a win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out these raw books and we will get to them in just a moment. I'm happy to say that it feels pretty light, so I'm happy about that, and the box looks pretty full. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you all the 9/8s that I got here. First off, we have Something is Killing the Children, issue 20. This is the 1 in 25 variant. That's cool. That's cool. Let me put a little landing spot for all these books right down here. That's cool. I'm happy about that. Next, we have Something is Killing the Children, issue 19. This is the 1 in 25 variant for issue 19. That's cool. At one point, I was trying to have a collection of all of the 1 in 25s, but now that they've started doing like 1 in 50s and 1 in 100s on the regular, not so much. This is that same cover, but this is the foil version. This was an exclusive that Scott's Collectibles made available. This is really, really cool. So I got a 9/8 in that. Also, we're going to be, like 9/8 is the minimum grade that these were screened for. So maybe we'll get lucky and get a 9/9 or a 10.0 in there. It's not likely, but who knows, who knows. All right, the next one is, oh yeah, so I had 2 of these and they both came back 9/8s. These are the foil versions of that 1 in 25. I'm really excited about that. That's great. Okay, what's next? We have another one of these. Actually, I didn't realize that I had 2 of these. Oh no, this is issue 18. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Something is very wrong here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, CGC messed something up. We're going to have to get to the bottom of that, but these are the same comic book. However, one of them, the label has Something is Killing the Children, issue number 20, and the other one says Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18. I did not know that I had 2 of these. Something leads me to believe that one of these is not mine. I am going to have to check my submission and see what the heck happened there. But regardless, this is issue 18. It is not issue number 20. This is issue 18. So this label is incorrect. The question is this my book? Did I submit 2 of these? Let's see, the packing slip will tell me. I'm gonna have to check that in just, let me see here. No, I looks like I submitted, oh no, I did submit 2 of them. Okay, this packing slip is a little bit confusing. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, but regardless, that label's wrong. And that's a problem. So there's the first mistake from CGC. Here is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 17. This is the 1 in 25 for that one in a 9.8. See, that's frustrating. Now, CGC is going to take care of it. CGC is going to fix the problem. They're going to correct it. But it's a little bit frustrating because now I'm going to have to go through all the hassle of sending it back to them. This is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 17. This is the black and white, not black and white, glow-in-the-dark variant. I've kind of decided that I want to put together a small collection of glow-in-the-dark covers, so that's why I submitted this one. It's not especially valuable, but it's just going into my glow-in-the-dark collection. The next book is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 16. This is the Comic Tom exclusive Raf Grassetti variant. This is the one with the tray dress. It's a nice book, good-looking book. I actually submitted 2 of those, so that's good. They both got the 9.8. That's super fantastic. Next is... I'm so glad about this. Yes, this is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 16. This is the 1 per store variant. It's the virgin version of the A cover. I have a little collection of the 1 per stores. I like having the 1 per stores for this series. And actually, I have additional copies of this in the raw, but this was the nicest one of them. So I was like, ooh, I really hope that this one at least gets the 9.8 because the other ones are a little bit more questionable about whether or not they will get the 9.8. So I'm glad to know that I have at least 1 for my collection. Next, this is Something That's Killing the Children, issue number 11. This is the B cover. This is the Jenny Friesen variant. It's just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Nice one to have. One I just wanted to have as part of my Something is Killing the Children collection. Next book is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 10. This is great. This is really, really great. I want to have the first 10 issues in 9.8. So this is really great. This will help me a lot on that. And this is a surprisingly valuable book. I think it's a tough one to get in a 9.8 and is therefore has a little bit of additional value, more than you would expect. I have 2 of them. That's good too. That's really, really great. So now I've got 2 of them. 1 to keep and 1 to maybe sell off at one point to help kind of cover the costs for this. Next, we have Something is Killing the Children, issue number 9 in a 9.8. Okay, great. This is going to be a wonderful addition to my 1 through 10 9.8 collection. Next, we have Something is Killing the Children, issue number 8. Here we go. So at first, in a submission that's at CGC right now, I sent a lot of my lower number Something is Killing the Children books, not really fully intending on having 1 through 10 in 9/8. But then as I was putting together this submission, I was like, let me go ahead and send in some of my books from 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so far, so good with 3 of those, 4 if you count the double, coming back in a 9.8. The next one is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 1. This is the local comic shop day foil variant. This is not the A cover of issue number 1. This is the foil variant, but this is a really, really nice book, and I'm really, really glad to have it. I have an issue number 1, but it's nice to have this foil version of it in a 9.8. Next we have Nocterra, issue number 1. This is not only a hot book to have and a good spec book to have, but this is the glow-in-the-dark variant for it. So once again, I submitted it to kind of put together my own glow-in-the-dark collection. So this will be added to that. Next we have Nocterra, issue number 1. This is the normal A cover for this. Once again, it's a hot book. There's good spec on it. So I'm really glad to have this book in a 9.8. The next book is Hahaha, the Department of Truth, issue number 12. This is a special foil cover done by Martin Simmons. This was an exclusive that was through Scott's Collectibles. It was offered at the same time as that issue 19 foil cover was offered that I have those 2 copies of. So this is kind of a nice little companion piece to that other Something is Killing the Children foil. But I only had one of these, so I'm really glad it came back in a 9.8. Next, I have the Department of Truth, issue number 4. This is a 1 in 10 variant. I'm a big Department of Truth fan. I have probably way too many Department of Truth books, but this is one of the 1 in 10s that I was able to buy raw, so I thought I'd go ahead and submit it. I'm really, really glad that came back a 9.8. All right, next we have the Department of Truth, issue number 1. This is the A cover. This actually was a book that I bought as a bonus purchase when I bought some slabs. This place said, you know, at checkout, they were like, hey, you want to buy some extra copies of Department of the Truth in the raw for, you know, they gave me the A and the B cover for $25. I said, sure, why not? Then when I got them, I was like, they look really, really good. Let me send this one in and see if I can get a 9.8 on it. And I did. I have several of these, so I am really hoping that the Department of Truth becomes a hit television show so I can unload some of those to cover the costs of these. And finally, the last book that I have in my 9.8 pre-screen that received a 9.8 is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 55. This is that Gleason Webhead variant. Everybody and their mother has this in a 9.8, but this one is mine. I really, really like this cover. I picked up this book raw when it came out, read this one, and then sent it to CGC, and I'm happy that I got the 9.8. All right, so that is all of the books that got a 9.8. I think I did pretty well. And keep in mind, once again, that none of these books received a press. So it's possible that as we assess these raw books, the ones that got rejected, that a simple press might put it into a 9.8 category. But that is going to have to be something that we assess in just a moment. But right now, let's just take a look at the books that were rejected. And I'm a little bit disappointed by this one that's on the top already, but so it goes. First off, before I show them to you, let's count them. There are 3 of them. 3 books that were rejected. So that means in my submission of 25 books in my 9.8 pre-screen, I had 22 that got the 9.8 and 3 that did not. So that is a percentage of, what is it? Is it 88%? Yeah, 88%. So that's pretty good. So here are the 3 books that were rejected. First, Geiger, issue number 1. This is the glow-in-the-dark edition that I was hoping to have be part of my glow-in-the-dark collection. This book is not especially valuable, but it's a little bit disappointing that it didn't get the 9.8, so I won't have it in my collection of glow-in-the-dark 9.8s. But so it goes. But this is still a nice book to have, and we're going to take a look and see why it didn't get the 9.8. Next, we have Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18. No, is that right? Issue number 20. That's really interesting, guys. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Is it possible? This is issue number 20. The label says issue number 20. Does that mean that the issue 18 that they put in the holder was given the wrong label? Or they printed the correct label and this is a 9.8 and that other one is not a 9.8? I'm going to have a nice long talk with CGC and figure out exactly what happened there and how they are going to fix it. And finally, we have here Spider-Man 2099, issue number 1, that was rejected by CGC. That is a shame. I was really, really hoping that this book would get a 9.8. This book is pretty hot right now. It would be a nice book to have in a 9.6 as well, but it's really too bad that it didn't get the 9.8. But this is clearly the oldest book in the submission. I bought this book when it was brand new off the shelf. So it would have been really kind of special if it hit a 9.8, but it didn't, and that's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to assess these books, and we are going to talk about why possibly they didn't get a 9.8. All right, this first book is my copy of Something is Killing the Children, issue number 20. This is the 1 in 25 variant. I'm going to go over these books with the video camera the same way that I do for my Test Your Comic Book Grading Skills videos. I want you to take a really, really good look at these books and see if you can't figure out why this book didn't get a 9.8. Looking at the front of this book again, I don't see any problems with the front of this book. I think the front of this book is perfect and flawless and totally worthy of a 9.8. But you're going to see the problem immediately on the back. You see that crease along the back of the dragon there? Goes top to bottom. That is not going to get a 9.8 with a crease like that. In addition, parallel to the spine here, right there, you see it. It fades as it goes up to the top, but there's also a crease there. That book is not going to get a 9.8 in this condition. Yeah, it's pretty clear as day. Next up is Geiger, issue number 1. This is the glow-in-the-dark variant. This book also looks really, really good at first glance. That corner right there is starting to look like there might be a problem there. And remember that corner, we're going to see it again on the back side. But the front side looks great. It looks fantastic. Basically flawless. The only thing I see on this book is that corner, which would make me want to flip it over and look at the back and wonder what's going on there. And there we go. So there is what appears to be staining on the back of this book. I'm 99.99999% sure that that is part of the aesthetic of this old school ad on the back. I don't think that's why it didn't get it. This is why it didn't get a 9.8. There's these weird kind of funky wrinkles right there. I need to look at other copies of this book and see if they also have that. But that's very funky. But even worse kind of is that corner. That corner's bad. That corner's blunted. That's going to need some help. This book, as it stands right now, is totally not a 9.8. That corner alone is going to take it out of a 9.8. So that's no question there. Here's the big one. Spider-Man 2099. This book looks so good. It looks so fantastic. The only problem I can see at all is this bottom left-hand corner. There seems to be a little bit of a lip there, a little bit of where the cover's pulled down a little bit more than it should be, as like a straight razor edge there from the spine. You'll see it as there you go. You see the way it's catching the light there on the edge all the way to the back end of that first 9? The way that's catching light is because it's angled in a different direction from the rest of that edge there. I think that just needs to be straightened out a little bit with a cold press, because the rest of this book simply looks perfect. I could not find another issue with that. I almost feel like I could just get my finger in there and lift it up a little bit and they'd be like, it's a 9.8. But no, I think I'm going to take this to a professional and have them properly cold press. This is tricky because it's a foil book and it's a thicker stock, so it's harder to do. But they can do it. They can probably fix that. And I'll resubmit this, and it's guaranteed to at least get a 9.6. I would expect it to get a 9.8 once you fix that corner. But otherwise, like I said, that looks like a perfect book to me. Okay, so we've had the chance to assess these 3 books in the raw as to why they might not have gotten the 9.8 grade, and after looking at them, yeah, they're not 9.8s. It's pretty clear that they're not 9.8s. Now this one was the closest of all of them. This one is very, very close. And I think I'd probably be able to take this to a presser and have them fix that corner for me. I'll let them assess that and let me know about that. If they can fix this, I am totally going to get this fixed and resubmit this, because I think this is otherwise a gorgeous book. This book as well, I think, could probably get a press and probably possibly get a 9.8. I need a professional to assess this one and tell me how bad those creases are and can they be fixed. If they can be fixed, I will likely get this pressed and resubmit. This book, I think, is a lost cause. No press is going to fix this book. What I need to do for this book is I need to research it. I need to see if the defects are common to this book. If they're common, maybe I could petition CGC, get them to reconsider. Likely they are not common, and hopefully I can find a nicer copy of this book if I choose to, and submit that to CGC and hopefully get a 9.8 with this one. But with those weird kind of wrinkle folds on the back and the way those corners looked kind of blunted and damaged, I have a feeling that there's no coming back for this particular copy of this issue. Now, one thing I want to mention is that when I assess these books, part of me is like, how did I miss these problems before? How did I not see these things? And I don't know how to answer that question. I can see how I missed the little thing on the Spider-Man 2099, but the other two books, those issues are fairly clear. And so how did I miss those in the first place? What happens when I start going down that train of thought is I think to myself, well, did CGC damage these books? Did I send in these books and they were in perfect condition and something happened at CGC to cause that damage? Possibly. But I don't know. Why? Because I didn't take photos or video of these particular books in this 9.8 pre-screen submission. When I was putting together this submission, I was under the gun time-wise, so I rushed. And these submissions, putting them together is a lot of work and takes a lot of time to do it right. And I think I got to the point where I was just too fatigued to worry about it. And so I don't have any documentation of what they look like before I sent them in. So I just have to accept the fact that it was likely my error, that I missed those flaws. But that being said, I encourage all of you always, and I re-encourage myself to always document the books that you send to CGC when they're raw before you send them out. The peace of mind that it will give you when you can go back and see, oh, that error was there, I must have just missed it, or that error definitely wasn't there, CGC and I need to have a talk. That peace of mind is golden. But with these three books, I don't feel so bad, but it is a reminder to document those books in the raw before you send them. All right, that's everything I wanted to say in this video. If you have any thoughts, any comments, any suggestions, anything you want to say about anything you saw in this video, definitely let me know down in the comments. I will be contacting CGC about this guy right here and what is going on with this label. I'm pretty sure that this was just an incorrect labeling, that this is the accurate book that deserved a 9.8, because the issue 20 is there and does not deserve a 9.8. So I think that this is just an error with the label. Okay, so hold on a second. Because I had the problem with that book, I figured I should look at the rest of the books in my submission and see if there are any other issues, and there were. These are my two copies of Something is Killing the Children, issue number 19. The one on the left is the 1 in 25. The one on the right is the foil convention exclusive. They switched the labels on these two books. The other foil copy that I have of this book got a correct label. It's just these two, the labels got switched. Now, you'd forgive that. That seems like an honest mistake, right? Well, what if it happened twice in the same submission? These are my two copies of Nocterra issue number 1. That's the glow-in-the-dark cover on the left. The A cover is on the right. They switched the labels on those as well. They're very, very similar, so you'd forgive that, but it's a little frustrating. Also, there are lots of cases that have scuff marks that are kind of less than ideal. And then there's this divot in this book that I would never submit this book with that divot in it. I knew it wouldn't get a 9.8. I've got a problem with that. Let's go back to the video. I will send this to CGC. I'm sure that they are going to handle it completely at their expense. I will make a video that goes step by step through how the process of getting that book fixed goes. It'll come out later on down the road. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, I invite you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell because videos like this come out at random. And I have a ton of books at CGC right now myself. And I have my friend Octavio that's made his submissions available to me. There will be a lot more unboxings and test your comic book grading skills videos coming in the months and years to come. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.